Hey guys, my name is Michael.
And my name is Michele.
And we want to welcome you back for another episode of the
M&M Show.
Okay, today we're going to talk about the obvious, the fact that Michelle's got a better tan than I do, right? Wrong. I'm Ebony and she's
Ivory.
Okay, and we have a cultural difference. So today we're going to be talking about cultural differences. Okay, we have them in our home. We have thermostat wars. I am, if you haven't been able to tell, a man of color, a black man, originally from Africa, tropical people. We need the house hot, warm, and so I turn the thermostat up, and she turns it.
Turn it down.
Yes,
to save money.
Yes, of course. The Asian wife turns it down. When I make wings, I go for get in the cab. Where's the barbecue sauce? Michele is bringing out the
fish sauce.
Fish sauce. So you get barbecue sauce, sriracha sauce, or fish sauce. So we got that difference right there. I was persuaded that I could eat spicy food. I was like, okay. Spicy food in the black community, it is very spicy, until I had some chili paste from the Asian community, and she's laughing in laughter while I'm sweating bullets over here. Difference right there. Cooking styles.
Oh, yes.
Cooking styles. Soul food in the black family. Soul food. You cook, you got to keep that pot on there for days. So it's slow cook. You keep it on the slow cooker for days. Asian style.
Wok style. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Dinner on the table.
Quick.
The best.
Slow cook, fast cook.
One pot wonder.
Yes. Snack preference. Okay. Doritos and chips. You got to have some Doritos and, some chips, some crisps. This is snack preference. Asian community.
Seaweed.
Or
prawn crackers.
Prawn crackers. You're not getting no seaweed in our culture.
No.
No. Holiday celebration. We just different. I'm loud. We want a ton of people over. We want loud music. Asians.
Quiet and peaceful. Just the family. Zen.
Yeah, exactly. Little chimes and all that kind of stuff. Communication style. Mike, direct, expressive, bold, and direct the Asian style.
Quiet. Don't say what we feel.
Exactly.
And polite, but yeah.
Not
always the best. Though.
Yeah, and the worst in black community, health remedies.
Oh no.
Health remedies. Black community, it does Robitussin, night nurse, Vicks. It doesn't matter what you have, it's Robitussin. You could have clinical depression. Clinical. You could put some Vicks on his chest. Put some Robitussin, give him some night nurse. He's got clinical. He broke his knee. Vicks. Anything. It's just, that's all we use. That's the only poor people, so that's our only Asian family.
Tiger Balm.
Similar.
Fixes everything.
Yeah. So it's a very funny thing that we love to poke fun at each other's differences. Something the world can't do now without being offended or triggered nowadays. It's so sad. We can't recognize differences culturally, appreciate the differences. Yeah, we can't make fun of each other in jest and in humor and really build bridges. Because really what it's all about is learning how to build bridges. And that's one of the great things about having different cultures. And I think cultural diversity is incredibly important for our kids, for our own sanity. I love different cultures. What about you?
Yeah, cultural. Well, I married a different culture.
There you go.
Not only African American, but a different country.
Yep.
My parents were different cultures. My dad is English and my mum is Vietnamese.
Yep.
But more than that, most big cities where we have our churches have huge cultural differences and different populations coming in. So it's really important to learn how to embrace cultural differences. And that can be a divide.
Yeah, that can be a divide.
Massive.
They can be a divide. And now when I talk about, I want to get too nuanced in this episode, but cultural differences aren't necessarily racial differences, because you can have two people from the same culture, but different race. So that could be even another nuance we could go into. But for cultural, I like different. That's why our church is international. The London International. We're in an international movement.
Yeah.
And I love being able to go over to Moscow, Russia. I was one of the only black men on the Black Sea, but I was in Moscow, Russia. And it was awesome because you think about cultural difference, and even me being over there, I thought, cultural difference there are a lot of different ways that we can be divided, but I think it kind of centers in on 4 areas: food, value systems, Economics and past hurts. Okay. Food is a cultural thing. People have some feelings about food. Value system. Some cultures value one thing, another culture values another thing. Economics. Okay. Some cultures are born with some money, other ones don't have much money. And then past hurts. That's a little bit more of a serious one. You know, certain cultures have had crazy things happen to them. Historical
hurts.
Yeah, historical hurts, which really can
play a big part
right
in perspective.
Yeah, because if your culture hasn't had that hurt,
Yeah.
you could say insensitive things like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's wrong with you?" I mean, stuff like that. And then you also could still be feeling hurts from years ago that you probably should have healed from if you're from that culture. So, how about the first one? Food. I was talking about Russia. They fed me sala over there. Dobre utro.
What is that?
Sala is a huge piece of pig fat with an onion on top. I don't know how they persuaded me to eat it.
Wow. How do you eat it? With bread, right?
Yeah, you eat it with rye bread.
It's like mayonnaise-ish?
No, it's like
butter.
It's like a big piece of pig fat with an onion on top.
Okay.
Yeah, it was different. It was different, but I wanted to be unified, so I tried it. I love being in Russia. I love going to Brazil.
Oh yeah, the
Feijoada.
food is good in Brazil.
Feijoada.
And that steak.
Yes. I love China. We were in China. We went to Hong Kong. Yeah, and they have dim sum.
Oh yes.
Dim sum.
The airport. I was trying to think, when did we go to Hong Kong?
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, the airport's experience.
Exactly. We had some dim sum.
We still got some great Chinese food.
Yes, we had some dim sum. Now, dim sum is different in the Black community. Dim sum is what you say when something's kind of, dim sum, nice shoes,
Dim sum.
Dim sum, anyway. But I remember that. Where else have we gone? We've gone Hawaii.
Oh, yes.
Their food is different. I didn't know Spam was a delicacy.
Big time.
Eggs, Spam, and sushi.
Sushi and Spam sushi.
One meal.
Can you imagine?
Yes. And then there's the places that we've gone. I'm like, okay, this is going to cause a cultural divide. We're in South Africa. I am not going to try sheep head. They eat sheep's head down there.
And their braai. Barbecue.
On the braai. And then you go over to the Philippines and they eat, I remember they told me, hey, would you like some balut? I was like, yeah, great balut.
Yes. Our cameraman, Andrew, just laughed because he knows exactly what that is.
Balut.
It's basically an embryo, right? A chicken embryo and an egg.
Yes, it's a chicken embryo. And they suck down the juice. Suck down the embryo. And so it's kind of like half embryo and half developed chicken. So you got the half developed chicken hanging out. Oh, and then the embryo at the bottom, and then they put some clever stuff around it, and they give it to you.
Did you try it?
Absolutely not.
No, I didn't either. I didn't have the guts.
I didn't have the guts either.
But does some countries also eat crickets?
Yes, crickets.
Grasshoppers.
No, here's the one. I love seeing the Nigerians argue with the Ghanaians over jollof rice.
Oh yes, that's a cultural divide.
That's a divide.
That's World War III happening.
World War III. Nigerians are like, we made it. Ghanaians are like, no,
they still, and they won't. No one will. And which one do you like? No, we won't. I'm not going to say.
I got Nigerian and Ghanaian friends right there.
We love you all.
Please keep watching M&M show.
I tell you what.
No divide.
A Ghanaian, a Nigerian makes me jollof rice. I'm eating it. I love that jollof rice.
I love it. Then you get over to the Irish. They have jellied eels.
Yeah.
Jellied eel in a jar. And they knock those things out. Nasty. And then you get the English. They got pie and mash.
Yeah, we had that in Australia as well. I was trying to think of Australian stuff. We have kangaroos.
Yes.
We eat kangaroo meat. And I was telling friends that, for fish and chips, we have shark for our fish.
Yeah.
Because sharks are they're everywhere.
Yeah, I had shark while I was there.
Yeah, it tastes good.
It was awesome. So food is like a cultural divide. It is. It's. I mean, you even hear, it smells like, it smells like curry in here. You go into,
I love a good curry.
Yeah. So these are things that kind of can separate us culturally. I think food is a big one.
But I think too, on the flip side, it actually can bring people together.
That's true.
Because if you think about food, people go to places based on the cuisine.
Exactly.
What do they call them? Foodies.
Exactly.
It's a whole thing.
Exactly.
And we're kind of foodies, aren't we?
We are.
I mean, we'll go, we're going to Barcelona. We're going to get some paella.
You go get that paella.
What is it? Tapas. Oh, my goodness.
They call me Tapas Michael. ¿Cómo estás?
So, yeah, it can actually bring people together, too, the food.
Yeah, because you fellowship. And that was one of the regulations in the Bible. You could not be with certain nations because of their food. And that was one of the things that indicated that you were really worshiping their gods, because oftentimes they had those foods while they worshiped their gods. And so God would put food restrictions. And of course, we've gone kind of over the top with the whole Jewish kosher deal nowadays. God has said everything is clean. So you get to eat a pork sandwich nowadays. Like, hey, it's okay. It's
BLT.
a clean. Yeah. Now, pork, people don't know that, but the pig throws up. It's the only animal that throws up inside of itself. So there you go. That's bacon. Sorry about that. For you bacon lovers. So food.
Didn't know that. Well, I'll have to Google that.
Now you know. Food can be a unifier culturally, and it can be something that can divide us because food shows a cultural difference. Value systems. That's another thing. Value systems and economics. Some cultures value things that other cultures don't value. And we see this often on a Sunday morning in our church. You got some cultures that value coming to church on time. And you know exactly what culture you are. You value coming on time, and you're like, hey, John, what is it? You know. And then the other ones, you don't value coming on time. You just come when everyone shows up. You know, when everyone gets there, you're there. And so we know, and so you need two cultures. You need one culture that values coming to church on time to help the culture that doesn't value coming to church on time. Right? You need, and the culture that doesn't come to church on time, you know exactly what culture you are. You do not come to church on time, and it is normal. And you say, oh, you know, girl, and you know, and that's a normal thing. You can't, you know. So then you got the culture that comes on time, and they're not, you know. Then you got cultures that don't clap on time.
Oh.
And then the cultures that clap on time, you hurt their worship. you know, you're not offbeat. And you know what culture you are. You're trying to get the. Whoo! You messing up the worship of Jesus Christ when you do that. You got to clap on time. I know, but I'm telling you, value system. Some cultures value being on time. Some cultures value clapping on time. It's a big deal. And I really do. I think black folks and white folks worship different. I think they worship different. White people worship God like He's right there in front of them, like He's right there. Heavenly Father, oh Heavenly One, oh no, glorious, sanctified. Please be with me. Black people worship God like it's their cousin 2 blocks down the road. Heavenly Father! Oh, please! Like He's way over there.
Oh, I see. I was like, where are you going with this?
I mean, like.
Well, that was a bit like you in our marriage, wasn't it?
Well, okay.
When you would wake up.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe.
Yeah, that's true.
Right here.
That's true. But
right here.
That's true. That's true.
Not the cousin next door.
That's true. Or 2 blocks away.
2 blocks away.
But see, black folks, we tell stories different.
Oh my gosh!
We tell
Help me with this.
Okay,
Okay. Embellish.
Okay, embellish. Okay, white people. White
I'm
people,
like, did that happen?
Right. Black people tell stories with their whole body. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, with the whole body.
But the added elements, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole body. They tell stories with the whole body. They got to, it's kind of like.
But they add other scenes.
Yeah, that's true. But white people, you guys tell stories. You tell stories with absolutely nobody, with just your head.
Just facts.
Hello, John. The first time that we were getting ready to, no movement. It's just right here. It's right in here.
Lips.
It's right here. It's just like, there's no expression. It's like, it was a great, great time right there. Black people, we were like with our whole body. Tell stories like that. So different.
That's very true.
And it's I think, you just look at that. You see differences in culture, and no one's saying which one
is better
or not. But I do think we also have different value systems. Like black people, we value letting people know how much we pay for something.
Really?
Yeah, we value. We like, you see that right there? That's $1,000. You see that right there? That's 500,000.
What's with the accent?
Well, I'm just kind of giving, give a little for the show right here.
Gotcha.
That's 500,000 right there. That's 100,000. You see this right here? This is 250. We tell you exactly how much we paid for something.
Wow.
And Asians, and so we.
I think in the Asian culture, we just buy a Louis Vuitton.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. That's true.
No,
that's
but I don't. I'm just saying that Asian culture, it's actually all about status.
Yeah.
It's all about like labels.
Yeah, but
everything.
You guys don't say what you
they don't say it because you assume
that
that they don't want to tell you how much it was.
Yeah, so black people, we brag. You
got to brag.
Asian people don't say that. They're very quiet.
That's it. Right.
Yeah, so different values.
They let their bag speak.
Yes, exactly. So cultural differences. The great thing about cultural differences, you can't let your culture be more important than your calling. You can't let your culture be more important than your convictions.
Right.
I mean, even if you think about it, we think this whole racial, cultural division and all this stuff that's happening now is something that happens in our generation, but it happened even when Jesus walked the earth. He even says in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14, it says, he himself is our peace. He has made the both of us one.
Right.
And he has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility.
Yeah.
So Jesus got rid of walls.
Right. We're one nation, right? Under God.
Exactly. One nation under God.
Yeah.
Jesus got rid of walls. We like to build walls.
Yeah.
we like to build walls. Jesus got rid of walls. We like to build walls. We now, and if you think about the Bible, they would worship at a temple. Okay. And in the temple, you had different walls, which would indicate who could go where. So you had the men's court, you had the women's court, then you had where most of the Jews would come, and then you had the Gentile court. That means if you were not Jewish, you could not go past that wall. There was even an inscription that said, anyone who goes past this wall will be killed. Okay, so if you went past a wall,
right,
dare we say you went past the border, you went past the border, you would be killed. And Jesus comes along and goes, my temple is not a physical temple, it's a spiritual temple. And I've gotten rid of walls. Right. I've gotten rid of, but that's the problem I think we have nowadays. People resurrect walls.
Yeah. And I love Acts 17 that says, from one man he made every nation of men. And so there it really is. And that's what we're trying to bring back, right, with the church.
Yeah.
Is that one nation.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so beautiful to see in a church hundreds of different nationalities as one flesh, one mind, one body of Christ, reflecting all the beautiful things about humanity.
And culture and diversity.
I was thinking the other day, that chicken Michael made last night was what?
It was a little Asian. It was kind of Asian black,
right.
like Blasian.
It was Blasian.
Shout out to the Blasians out there.
Shout out to the Blasians.
Shout out. If you're Blasian, if you're in the Blasian community right there, shout out to the Blasians.
So our kids are Blasian, and Michael, Adrian, 19 years old, made a chicken stir fry.
I was like, what is that barbecue soy chili smoked?
And I said, Michael, give some to Dad. And you were pleasantly surprised.
Man, it was good.
That was good. And I saw you went out to Waitrose after and bought some ingredients.
And ate some today.
Trying to manufacture. What's my point? Is that Michael has blended a bit of Mom's recipes and a bit of Dad's recipes.
Yes.
And you had one of the best chicken meals you've had in a long time. So I did. So you see, when we can embrace these cultural differences.
We got to embrace cultures. We got to embrace each other. We got to make bridges.
Enhances.
Create a bridge.
Create a bridge.
Create a bridge. Be a bridge. I mean, don't. If Jesus got rid of the walls,
don't resurrect it.
Don't resurrect walls. If this world is one big temple, here's what happens: people get hurt, and they throw temple tantrums.
And they get injured. Saying there's past hurts that can cause dividing walls.
And I'm not going to say that I haven't been hurt. I'm sure you've probably been hurt. But one of the reasons we love each other is because we are so different. We've learned to appreciate. And honestly, we've learned not only to appreciate, but to laugh at each other's differences.
Yeah. So, when you're talking about culture, what does God think about culture?
Well, this is a good question. What does God think about culture? God doesn't think what we think. Everybody, we are fascinated with our culture. Trust me. The Nigerians they've got the monopoly on jollof rice. The Ghanaians got the monopoly on jollof rice. Everybody's so fascinated with their culture. But when you go to what God thinks about culture, culture was a curse. Man, it was a curse. It was because man did not want to do what God wanted them to do. They wanted to make a name for themselves. And that's exactly what cultures are. People get their identity from their culture so much, and it was a curse in the Bible. And if you look at nowadays, if we want to take this God's angle on culture, once again, culture's become fascinated with itself. People are fascinated with their culture. And that was a curse in the Bible. He spread people out. He divided them based on language and made culture to get people away from each other, because by being one and building a name for themselves, they were doing something against the will of God. And in the same way, our culture now has kind of become this thing for ourselves and not really to glorify God. So the only time that God reversed the curse was in Acts chapter 2, where he got rid of all culture and said, there's one culture, kingdom culture.
Right.
There's one nation, God's nation. There's one family, God's family. There's one group of people, there's one family, the family of God. So at the end of the day, don't put your culture above your calling.